Crossing the flood. So I have heard. At one time the Buddha was staying near Savatthi in Jeta's Grove Anathapindika's monastery. Then, late at night, a glorious deity, lighting up the entire Jeta's Grove, went up to the Buddha, bowed, stood to one side, and said to him, "Good sir, how did you cross the flood?" "Neither standing nor swimming, sir, I crossed the flood." "But in what way did you cross the flood, neither standing nor swimming?" "When I stood still, I went under, and when I swam, I was swept away. That's how I crossed the flood, neither standing nor swimming. After a long time I see a Brahman extinguished, neither standing nor swimming, he's crossed over clinging to the world." This is what that deity said, and the teacher approved. Then that deity, knowing that the teacher approved, bowed and respectfully circled the Buddha, keeping him on his right, before vanishing right there. At Savatthi. Then late at night, a glorious deity lighting up the entire Jeta's Grove went up to the Buddha, bowed, stood to one side, and said to him, "Good sir, do you understand liberation, emancipation, and seclusion for sentient beings?" "I do, sir." "But how is it that you understand liberation, emancipation, and seclusion for sentient beings?" "With the ending of relish for rebirth, the finishing of perception and consciousness, and the cessation and stilling of feelings. That, sir, is how I understand liberation, emancipation, and seclusion for sentient beings." Led on. At Savatthi. Standing to one side, that deity recited this verse in the Buddha's presence. "This life, so very short, is led onward. One led on to old age has no shelter. Seeing this peril in death, do good deeds that bring you to joy. This life, so very short, is led onward. One led on to old age has no shelter. Seeing this peril in death, a seeker of peace would drop the world's bait." Time flies. At Savatthi. Standing to one side, that deity recited this verse in the Buddha's presence. Time flies, nights pass by, the stages of life abandon us one by one. Seeing this peril in death, do good deeds that bring you to joy. Time flies, nights pass by, the stages of life abandon us one by one. Seeing this peril in death, a seeker of peace would drop the world's bait. Cut how many? At Savatthi. Standing to one side, that deity recited this verse in the Buddha's presence. Cut how many? Drop how many? How many more should be developed? How many kinds of clinging must a mendicant get over before you call them a flood crosser? 5 to cut, 5 to drop, and 5 more to develop. A mendicant must get over 5 kinds of clinging before you call them a flood crosser.